Welcome to the Visual COBOL in a Nutshell series of presentations. This module will cover the topic of installing and licensing the Visual COBOL for Eclipse product on Windows. Installation is a three-step process. If you do not currently have the Visual COBOL for Eclipse installation package available to you, then please watch the Visual COBOL in a Nutshell presentation entitled Getting the Visual COBOL Product, which covers step 1 of the process, ordering and downloading the software that you require. After downloading the required software, you can move on to step 2, installing the Visual COBOL for Eclipse product. In this video, I'll demonstrate the installation of the full product, which automatically installs the Eclipse IDE. However, if you wish to install Visual COBOL for Eclipse while making use of an existing Eclipse installation on Windows, please refer to the special install instructions for this in the Visual COBOL for Eclipse release notes. In addition to information about this special install option, the release notes also contain instructions for installing Visual COBOL for Eclipse on supported Unix platforms if you have the Unix version of the product. You can find the release notes on the Microfocus support line website at supportline.microfocus.com. After you log in, click on the Product Updates link on the left side and then choose Search All Updates Available to You. Now click the Submit button. A list of products is returned. To proceed, you'll need to check the box to indicate your acceptance of the Microfocus End User License Agreement. Now locate the entry for Visual COBOL for Eclipse in the list and click the plus next to it. Then next to the version you are installing, and then next to the product name. Finally, click on the README link to view or download the release notes. Now, let's continue with our full install of the product. Following on from the previous instructions, you will have an installer package with a name similar to the one shown here. This is a full installer for the product and includes the Eclipse Integrated Development Environment, or IDE. To install, simply run the installer directly by double-clicking on its name in Windows Explorer. This does require administrative privileges. You will be prompted for these if you are not currently running as an administrator. This is the Visual COBOL for Eclipse installer. We can start the install by double-clicking on the installer. An install dialog shows the product name and version being installed. The dialog includes the default product install location, but you can specify a different location if you wish. You can click the link at the bottom of the dialog to read the End User License Agreement. Once you agree to its terms, you can click the checkbox which enables the Install button. To start the installation, click the Install button. The install takes several minutes to complete. When the install completes, a dialog will inform you that the install is finished. After the install is finished, you may be prompted to restart the machine, and if you receive this prompt, we recommend that you restart before proceeding. After you've completed the installation of the main product, you can then install any desired Visual COBOL for Eclipse add packs. Ad packs are available from the product update link on the Micro Focus support line website. One ad pack that you may wish to obtain and install is the Data Tools ad pack, which provides a special editor suited for viewing and editing data files generated by Visual COBOL, including files that may contain mixed text and binary data. Use of the data file editor will be covered in a future video. Now that we've installed the Visual COBOL for Eclipse product, let's move on to step 3, licensing the product. All Visual COBOL products use the SafeNet License Manager and must be authorized before they can be used. This is true for the COBOL server product used in production environments, as well as the Visual COBOL for Eclipse product used in development. Products can be licensed in two ways. For development products like Visual COBOL for Eclipse, you can start the development product and then authorize the product in the IDE. You can also start the Micro Focus License Manager, which is a separate application installed with Visual COBOL for Eclipse, and authorize the product through that interface. For COBOL server products, you must use the Micro Focus License Manager to authorize the product, as there is no IDE available. There are also command line utilities available to install a license silently if you need to install the product as part of your own product installation program. Once again, the Visual COBOL for Eclipse release notes explain the required steps to perform a silent install of the product. Let's take a look at the process to install a license and authorize the product through the IDE. Let's start Visual COBOL for Eclipse. When you start the IDE without a license installed, the product automatically displays the dialog to license the product. On this dialog, there are two different options, one of which is I want to activate the free product. You would use this if you were installing the Visual COBOL Personal Edition product. You would enter the email address used when you registered on the Micro Focus registration web page. If you do not have an internet connection, you can still activate the product by using the manual process. The manual process requires interacting with the Micro Focus support line website to receive your product license. The other main option on the license dialog is I have a full Visual COBOL for Eclipse license. You can use this option if you received an authorization code for a product trial or a license file for a purchased version of the product. If you received an authorization code, copy it from the email received from Micro Focus and paste it into the dialog, and then click Finish. If you received a license file, you can browse to the file, select it, and choose Finish. Once again, you can also authorize the product using the Micro Focus License Administration application. You start the License Administration application from the Micro Focus License Manager group. As before, you can use a license file or enter an authorization code. These can be entered in the same manner as demonstrated before, but for the license file, you can also drag and drop the license file into the dialog. Once you've dropped the file, you click Install Licenses to complete the installation. Now that Visual COBOL for Eclipse has been installed and licensed, you can view the documentation under the Micro Focus Visual COBOL group on the Start menu. Or you can view the documentation from within the IDE. It's highly recommended that you take a look at the sample browser provided with the product, which is also available from the Start menu in the Micro Focus Visual COBOL program group. This tool allows you to view samples of different kinds of COBOL development. It's a great place to get ideas on how to get started with Visual COBOL or to perform advanced tasks. The installation also includes configuration options related to using Enterprise Server, data tools for setting up database connections, as well as command prompts 32 and 64-bit. That concludes this presentation on installing and licensing Visual COBOL for Eclipse. Please watch for future videos that will explore the configuration and use of the product. Thanks for watching.